Alright, YouTubers, this is a video just for starting off. You don't know how to make a thumbnail. I'm going to show you how to make an easy, simple thumbnail. And this is for Windows users, but I'm sure all you Apple guys already know how to do this with Apple's software. So most of us start this off, we have a Windows computer that we're doing this on, or you're doing it on your phone. You can take any picture and make it your thumbnail, and I'm just going to show you an easy way to do it that doesn't cost you a dime. So the first thing we got going on here is we're going to go to our YouTube channel, and this is inside of Studio Creator. I'm using the newer version. So this video here, this is just a little video I made with my granddaughter. She likes making videos with me. I love making videos with her, but the thing is, we made this video. I didn't add a title card or anything, so the thumbnail on this video is just kind of plain. It's just a screen capture from the video itself. And if you've ever uploaded a YouTube video, you know that when you upload a video, it just grabs 3 screen captures and gives you those as choices for your thumbnail. But those aren't always the best. So inside of Studio Creator, you select your video, and then right here at the top of the list on this side, you're going to click Details. Now your third option over here, go to the third option, which is your thumbnail. And if you'll remember, when you uploaded your video, you get these 3 selections here, and they are just screen captures from your video. Whatever it uses, it just tries to grab 3 pictures that it thinks you might want to use. So none of these are what I want to use for this video. I do like the picture of my granddaughter sitting with me there, but I'm just going to create a nice little thumbnail that might grab people's attention a little bit better than just this. So what I'm going to do, and this also works when you first upload your video. When you upload it, it's finished processing, you get these same options. These same options pop up at that moment, so you can also upload a custom thumbnail right then and there. And this is just an easy way to make one. Not saying it's the best, not saying it's the only way. I know it's not the best way, but this is an easy way, and this is a free way to do it. Free is important, especially when you're starting off. So I know I have a picture in mind that I want to use for this, because I named the video Behind the Scenes with OG-san. So down here in my Roswell folder, and this is just a folder where I've got a bunch of pictures from our trip to Roswell, New Mexico. There's a picture down here, and it's of me taking a picture. So if I just double click this right now, it would open with the default program, which would be Photo Viewer. And while that is a nice program and there's a lot you can do with it, I made a whole video about how you can make YouTube videos just using that program. That's not what we're going to use. We are going to use Paint, believe it or not. And I know Paint sucks, and I know all the complaints about Paint, but I'm going to tell you why I use Paint. So you right click, open with Paint, and you'll notice when you open the picture in Paint that it's gigantic because it's real size. It's showing you like the whole thing. So this is just like one tiny little piece of the picture. So why do I use Paint? The reason is because it's super easy to resize a picture in Paint, and it's really easy to add text. You just have to be a little bit careful with it, and I'll explain that here in just a second. So the first thing we want to do is resize our picture, and it's right here, resize. Now instead of using percentage, you switch this to pixels. Now I will tell you this, that your YouTube thumbnail, for it to fit perfectly, will be 1280 by 720. That's a perfect fit. Some photos, because of the aspect ratio of the photo itself, will not allow you to do that, and I'll show you. This is one. So if I type in 1280, it gives me 960. And even if I go down here and try to force this, it's because it's keeping the aspect. If I start screwing with that, it's going to warp my picture. So if I do 1280 by the 960, this is what we get. Just a nice normal looking picture. If I do that again and I uncheck this box and I don't make it retain the aspect, it comes out a little bit skewed, a little bit squished like that, and that's not really what I'm after, even though that would fit perfectly into a thumbnail. I just kind of want to keep it square to keep it looking sharp. So and you can also crop the video. There's 1,000 things you can do, but we're not doing all those. We're just making a simple thumbnail, so I don't want to get too crazy with all this. So I am going to maintain my aspect ratio. I've got to go back and undo that. So I am going to maintain my aspect ratio, and I am going to do the 1280. I do want that, and then the 720 is not going to be possible by maintaining the aspect ratio, so it will be a 960, and I'll show you what that does to the picture when we upload it. So now we've got the picture the right size, and you know, when you do a thumbnail, if you just try to grab a thumbnail and edit it, one of the thumbnails that it gives you, and then you try to edit it, it's going to be all pixelated, it's going to be tiny looking. You can look at some of my old thumbnails where I tried that. They look like crap. This is a nice easy way to make a nice sharp thumbnail. Okay, so I'll quit talking for just a second, because what I want to do is add some text. Right here we're going to hit the text button. Now if you notice, nothing happened, right? As soon as you hit the text button, the cursor changes. It's queuing you up to add what's called a text box. As soon as I click, left click, it brings up this text box right here. And the text box is, of course, where the text will go when you start typing. Now if you guys already know all this, great. This is just a way to do this, and believe me, there's people out there that need just to learn how to use some simple things like a text box, because you know, you would be surprised at how many people could be making great videos, but they're held back just because they don't have some of this basic information. So inside your text box, these options right here are very important. Transparent. That means that when you type your words onto this picture, you're going to have, because color 1 is for the color of the text. When you start typing, you're just going to have black letters, and that's not horrible, but the problem with that is that it's hard to see, especially when you shrink this down to thumbnail size. So what we're going to do is, instead of having transparent, we're going to make this opaque. Now you notice now that the background is colored in on this box. I'm not really wanting to use white, because again, it just doesn't really pop out the way I want it to. Your color 2 right here, that's the color of your background. When you select the color 2 and then you start scrolling through your colors, you can see that that changes the background color for that box. Now I want to use yellow for this one just because I like the way it looks. And now you see my text is in there, the box is created, but it's still a little bit off. And I will warn you, one of the drawbacks of Paint is that if I start clicking anywhere else on this picture, it saves this text box as part of the picture. You cannot go back and just edit this text box. You'll have to undo all your changes, get back to your default picture, and then start over. So be really careful while this is still highlighted. Don't click anywhere else on the picture, because then it's going to save it. If you want to edit this box or the text, you have to do it while it's open. You can't go back and do it later. So I don't like the way first this is setting. So I know there's other ways to do this, and I'm just showing you some easy kind of, you know, simple ways to do this. So instead of going and trying to align everything I'm just going to put a few spaces in there till it lines up the way I want it to. So now that looks a little better. Our box is still too big. We got all the space over here. So like I said, don't click anywhere else. Go to the border of your box. Go to the very corner until these arrows pop up like that. And then you shrink your box down to the size that you want that fits your letters. That's a pretty good size right there. Now watch, when I click off of the box, boom, it's saved. Now that's part of the picture. It's not a text box anymore. See, if I click again, it's trying to create a new text box. So now that's part of the picture. Now we're going to save this picture, and this is something to remember. Always do a save as. Don't do just save. If you do a save as, it will create a new picture for you to have. If you hit save, it forever will lock in your changes to this picture, and your old picture will be gone. It will just be this new picture. So, you know, I don't want to forever have this picture have this text on it. I only want this for my thumbnail. So make sure you hit save as. Now when you hit save as, it's going to bring up your Explorer here, your file Explorer. Always make sure that you save your pictures, your videos into a designated folder that you use for your YouTube videos. Make sure you name them so that it's easy to find. You don't want to have to be fumbling around looking for these things later. And then keep everything organized. It'll make your life a lot easier. Just keep everything organized so that you know what it is and where it is. So I'm going to name this BTS OG-san, and we're going to save it. And I know that this is the folder that I save my YouTube creations in. Alright, so now it's saved. We don't need this anymore. We get rid of that. We get rid of the file. And now we're going to go back to YouTube. And now we're back to the screen inside of my video, inside of the Studio Creator, that or Creator Studio I should say. And we're inside of that to the screen where I can upload a thumbnail. And like I said, you can do this same if you've already got the picture made. You can do the same step when you first upload your video. After it's done processing, it's going to pull up 3 default pictures for you, just like this, just screen captures. But if you've already got a picture made, it's the same step. You're just going to select image file, and this is why it's important to have that stuff saved in your folder. It's easy to find. There's the picture we just made. We're going to use that for our thumbnail. We select it, we click open. There it is right there. And now we're going to hit save. It takes just a second for it to upload the picture and apply it to your video. Alright, so it's done. Now we're going to go back to my channel here, and you can see now it's got the new thumbnail. And what I was saying earlier about the aspect ratio, and if it's not 1280 by 720, what it does this right here. These black bars on the side of your picture, they don't look great, they don't look super professional, but that's what you end up with if it's not 1280 by 720. These pictures, these thumbnails here, and what most professional YouTubers will always use is 1280 by 720, so that it perfectly fits into these thumbnails. Now, like I said, I'm just throwing this together real fast. I just wanted to have a different thumbnail for this, so I could have went and manipulated this picture a little further and got it to the 1280-720 ratio and made it perfect, but I'm not that worried about it right now. I think it still looks good. It's just a picture to demonstrate what the video is about, and I think it's an interesting picture. People will be trying to, you know, kind of figure out what all is going on in the background there. So you just want something to grab folks' attention. And so now, if you go to my channel, if you go to the American Oji-san channel and you look through my videos, you're going to see this thumbnail that we just created together. That's going to be the thumbnail for that video. I'm not changing it. I'm going to put it up there on purpose so that that's the thumbnail I want, just so you can see how it works. If you go to my channel, that's what you'll see. So all of these tutorials I'm putting out, they're simple, and guys that have been doing this for a long time, this is well below their pay grade. They're using Photoshop, they're using some professional studio software. There's a lot better ways to do this. This is by no means the best way to do this, but this is a one simple way to do this. And if you have a Windows computer with Paint on it, this is a free way to do this. Get your content out there. You can pick up all the other software and the equipment and all of that stuff. You can build into that. But the important thing is to start getting your content on YouTube. We need good content on YouTube, and I just want to help you get there. I want to grow with you. I'm still learning this myself, and as I figure out little things, I will post videos to try to help you out. And if I'm speaking to some advanced person, I'm sorry I use Paint, but that is the easiest way to do this for free. It's not the best way, I know, but it is an easy way to do this. So until next time, just remember, Oji-san has got your back. I will help you out. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Oji-san.